Hi everyone. Today I'm going to read out of The Power of Awareness. Well, this is the other way around. The Power of Awareness from Neville Goddard. And this book was published the first time in 1952. So the wisdom that I'm going to share with you was available for a long time, but I think that lately more and more people are tapping into this. And so the book opens with a little picture of Neville Goddard, and then it has one phrase, and it says, "Assume you are what you want to be. Walk in that assumption, and it will harden into fact." And this has everything to do with self-image and what you think you are. That is exactly how you are going to show yourself to the world and what you will manifest in your life. So I would like to read to you chapter number 2, consciousness. And a lot of people are talking about consciousness. Consciousness is everything. And they have those one-liners. But what does it really mean? What does it mean, the word consciousness? So I'm just going to read what Neville Goddard has to say about that. "It is only by a chance of consciousness, by actually changing your concept of yourself, that you can build more stately mansions, the manifestation of higher and higher concepts." So he refers to a poem by Oliver Wendell Holmes that is referring to those stately mansions, and he finished the previous chapter with it, and I'm going to read it for you. "Build thee more stately mansions, O my soul, as the swift seasons roll. Leave thy low vaulted past. Let each new temple, nobler than the last, shut thee from heaven with a dome more vast, till thou at length art free, leaving thine outgrown shell by life's unresting sea." And it took me a couple of times to read this, so I don't want to go into it too much because we're talking about consciousness. But if you really want to read it again, just go to the book, The Power of Awareness, and you can find it there in chapter number 1. So by manifesting is meant experiencing the results of these concepts in your world. It is of vital importance to understand clearly just what consciousness is. I totally agree with that. The reason lies in the fact that consciousness is the one and only reality. It is the first and only cause substance of the phenomena of life. Isn't that amazing? I love this. Nothing has existence for man save through the consciousness he has of it. Therefore, it is to consciousness you must turn, for it is the only foundation on which the phenomena of life can be explained. Consciousness is everything. So if we accept the idea of the first cause, it would follow that the evolution of that cause could never result in anything foreign to itself. That is, if the first cause substance was light, all its evolutions, fruits, and manifestations would remain light. The first cause substance being consciousness, all its evolutions, fruits, and phenomena must remain consciousness. All that could be observed would be a higher or lower form or variation of the same thing. Think about it. In other words, if your consciousness is the only reality, it must also be the only substance. Consequently, what appears to you as circumstances, conditions, and even material objects is really only the product of your own consciousness. Nature, then, as a thing of a complex of things external to your mind, must be rejected. You and your environment cannot be regarded as existing separately. You and your world are one. Therefore, you must turn from the objective appearance of things to the subjective center of things, your consciousness, if you truly desire to know the cause of the phenomena of life and how to use this knowledge to realize your fondest dreams. In the midst of the apparent contradictions, antagonisms, and contrasts of your life, there is only one principle at work, only your consciousness operating. Difference does not consist in variety of substance, but in variety of arrangement of the same cause substance, your consciousness. The world moves with motiveless necessity. By this is meant that it has no motive of its own, but under the necessity of manifesting your concept, the arrangements of your mind. And your mind is always arranged in the image of all you believe and consent to as true. I love that sentence. Isn't it genius? And your mind is always arranged in the image of all you believe and consent to as true. The rich man, poor man, beggar, or thief are not different minds, but different arrangements of the same mind, in the same sense that a piece of steel, when magnetized, differs not in substance from the demagnetized states, but in the arrangement and the order of its molecules. A single electron revolving in a specified orbit constitutes the unit of magnetism. When a piece of steel or anything else demagnetized, the revolving electrons have not stopped. Therefore, the magnetism has not gone out of existence. There is only a rearrangement of the particles so that they produce no outside or perceptible effect. When particles are arranged at random, mixed up in all directions, the substance is said to be demagnetized. But when particles are marshaled in ranks so that a number of them face in one direction, the substance is a magnet. Magnetism is not generated, it is displayed. Health, wealth, beauty, and genius are not created. They are only manifested by the arrangement of your mind. That is, by your concept of yourself. The importance of this is your daily life, and it should be immediately apparent. The basic nature of the primal cause is consciousness. Therefore, the ultimate substance of all things is consciousness. So, thinking about it, like consciousness is everything, whatever is going on in your mind, that is what creates the world around you. And it is not a new phenomena. It is really already known by many, many people for many, many generations. And so if you really want to be in charge of your life and live life to the fullest, then this is something you should really study. And then when you really understand what consciousness is, a whole new world opens up and you take charge of your life. It is beautiful when you can just feel how consciousness is everything. Okay, so if you want to know more, if you want to read it again, it's chapter number 2 in The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. Hope you have a wonderful day. Let me know if this is helpful, if you relate to this, if you have any thoughts about that, if you see that there is something going on outside of you that you can relate to, that it is really your consciousness that is creating this. So let me know what you think. I love to hear from you. Okay, bye.